Okay, here's a little assignment for you guys to define your own function that will draw something. I'm going to do an example here. I've actually given the code already, but we'll do this example as well and code it live. We'll use our graphics library, and I'm just going to have a function that'll draw a stickman. And the main idea here is I just pass in the location of the stickman, where XY is the top left corner, and then I give it a color. Right? So then I call this function 3 times and it draws 3 stickmen at different locations with different colors. Okay, simple as that. And then, so I'll do this little example, and then for you, I recommend starting with a little sketch. It's really helpful because you have to kind of pick like a reference point, right? In this case, I decided to do the top left corner. You could also have done like the center of the head or wherever you want, right? As long as everything is drawn relative to that reference point to locate it. You can also play around with sizes and all sorts of stuff. So your assignment is going to do, I want you to do at least 2 functions, right? Draw 2 different things, right? Have functions that will draw 2 different things. Here are some examples: platform, stars, a little robot, targets, but do whatever you'd like. These are just some ideas to get you started, okay? And yeah, you just need some different properties, right? It can be location, it can be color, right? This has a base color and a top color. This has the number of rings, the radius, that kind of stuff. This is like neck length and body length or height or whatever. So yeah, play around with that. So as an example, let me just help you get started on this assignment. I'm going to go to my code sandbox here. And like I said, use code sandbox, use Visual Studio Code, Replit, whatever you want. I'm going to go to all sandboxes. And in CS20 here, I have this graphics library. And I'm just going to go into this for a second and show you. I did a little bit of cleaning up in here, but I have some more to do. In the graphics library, I just added, let me capitalize this, a function list, right? So just kind of a quick reference. These are all the functions that are available in the library. And then all these functions here are down below that we worked on in the graphics library videos. Okay. And what my goal here is, I'm going to save this, and this should be ready to go with all these different functions. In my main.js, I want to delete all of this and just have this generic, I want to make kind of like a template. Here's just a title, and it's going to get a canvas and a context and set the width and height. That's great. In my index.html, I'm just going to change that to page title. It's linking to the style sheet. That's fine. I've got the canvas and the scripts. That looks good. We'll save that. I don't really need this image folder. Delete. The CSS, the JS. Okay, that looks good. So I'm going to rename this now to, graphics library template. Okay, so this is now something that I can make a copy of whenever I want to do something with graphics. It'll automatically load my graphics library, have the main.js with the canvas all set up. So I can do a copy of this a couple of ways. I can just hit fork right here, and that'll make a copy of this project. Or if I go back here, I think there's also the option here to fork sandbox. Okay, so I'm just going to do that. It makes a copy. I'm curious what it does. Oh yeah, it just shows me that it's forked here. It's in my drafts. So I'm going to rename this to draw stickman. Okay. And now I should be ready to go. Maybe I can go save as. No, that's just for the files. Sorry, actually I want to change this. Oh, there we go. I can go to CS20, move to CS20. Draw stickman. Okay, good. Okay, so now in my main.js, and technically I guess I could add the draw stickman to my graphics library if I wanted to, but I don't think I want to, right? Like I just want the graphics library to be the basic shapes. This draw stickman is kind of a special thing just for this one program. And of course I could add other things to it as well. So let's try this. I'm going to define a function called draw stickman. Let's make this a little bigger for you guys. I don't need this anymore. Do I need this still? You know what, let's make this a little smaller. Let's go 400 by 400. Oh dear, something went, oh, there's an error here. We'll finish that off. Draw stickman, save. There we go. Okay, so if I go back to the assignment here, right, what I want to pass in is the location and the color. So in my function, I need an XY, which will be the top left corner, and a color. Okay. And then the first thing I'm going to do is, well, we'll set. I feel silly. I have all the code here, but I'm going to do it line by line just to help explain it as I go. So we'll use our stroke function that we. Oh wow! Look at that. Good old autocomplete. The stroke function. If I hit space, then it turns off the autocomplete there. And we'll set that to color, right? Because this parameter should store whatever color that I pass in, right? So if I did draw stickman 100, 100, red, right? Color should store this red value. Okay. And then when I want to draw the head, XY is the top left corner. I think I did each of these boxes is 10 pixels, 10, 20, 30, 40. So the center of this circle would be X plus 20 and Y plus 20, right? Would get me the center. And the radius of the circle would be 20, right? From the center to the outside. So I can just go circle, X plus 20, Y plus 20, right? Again, XY is that top left corner, so X plus 20, Y plus 20 takes me right there. The radius is 20, and then what's the command for this again? I think I need mode, right? So if we forget, we can go back to our graphics library, and we can look up circle. Yep, circle takes an X, Y, radius, and mode. So I want the mode to be stroke in this case. Actually, fill might be cool too. You can play around with that if you want, have it as a filled head. All right, then next up, I think I added some comments. That's the head. And then next, I just want to draw a bunch of lines. So this body line right here, again, everything has to be relative to this position. So this first endpoint is going to be X plus 20 and Y plus 10, 20, 30, 40. Okay, so I'm going to draw a line from X plus 20, Y plus 40. And I'm going to draw that line down to 50, 60, 70, 80, Y plus 80. Okay, so the next point is X plus 20 again, and then Y plus 80. And that's the body line, I guess. Let's save this and just see how this goes. Haha, cool. Okay, 100, 100, red. So we've got the head and the body there. And of course, if I change this, right, if I change that to 50, it'll have the X value of 50, right there, the top left corner. If I change the color, blue, right, that's what this parameter will be. That's what I set the stroke color to be. Okay, good stuff. And now we just continue, right? If I want to do this arm, this left arm right here would be X plus 20 again. Actually, let's start with this point. That would just be X and then Y plus 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70. Okay, so the first endpoint is X and Y plus 70. And then the other endpoint is right there, which would be X plus 20 and Y plus 50. So X plus 20, Y plus 50. And that'll draw my left arm. Ta-da! Okay, and you know what? Hopefully you're getting this by now. I'm just going to copy and paste the rest of this. And all it's doing is just drawing relative, right? And there's my stickman. And now I can do this, and I expect you to do this too. Draw a couple, use your function to draw a couple of shapes in with different properties, right? So let's go 300, 300 with a color of orange. Save. Right, there's another one right there. Okay. Anyway, like I said, this is good practice, drawing a function that takes in arguments, right? These values that we pass into the function are the arguments, and they get stored in these parameters, and you can use those parameters inside of your function. Okay, have some fun with this. Like I said, there's some ideas down here, but be creative and draw whatever you'd like. Okay, hope that made sense. Take care, and we'll see you in the next video.